Many thanks for staying with us here on Channels Television as we bring you developing stories making the rounds in the course of the day. This is the news at 5. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. It's another major blow for terrorists who are now counting their losses following the gallant effort of troops of Operation Hadinkai in northeast Nigeria, dislodging a Boko Haram ISWAP camp in the Kopre mountain area of Hong local government of Adamawa state, killing 21 terrorists and recovering arms and ammunition. The Joint Task Force operation carried out in the early hours of Thursday followed a joint offensive involving the ONSA tactical team and others who navigated the difficult terrain to penetrate the terrorist enclave where they engaged the insurgents in 2 separate encounters. The military says several other terrorists escaped with gunshot wounds while the camp and its logistics infrastructure were dismantled as part of ongoing efforts to locate and rescue victims being held by terrorist elements, including persons abducted from Musa community and the Lassa school children. In Kogi State, 11 persons, including the drivers of 2 buses, have been rescued after gunmen attacked vehicles along the Aloma-Egani Expressway in Ofu local government area. The incident is said to have occurred at about 4:40 p.m. on Wednesday, August 26, around the Ogene Zaria near the Ogene Zaria Onitsha-Ego junction, when armed men emerged from the bush and blocked 2 buses traveling in opposite directions, abducting some of the passengers while others escaped into the surrounding bush. However, a coordinated rescue operation was immediately launched by the police, leading to the rescue of 11 abducted victims, mostly corps members, but operations is still ongoing. Meanwhile, the chairman of the APC in Dekina local government area of Kogi State, Alhaji Yunusa Ishak, has been shot dead by gunmen along the Tobe-Ochadamo Expressway. The police say the incident occurred on Thursday, August the 27th at about 5 p.m. around Ojuo Olijo in Ofu local government area of the state, when armed assailants emerged from the surrounding bush and opened sporadic fire at motorists along the highway. A blue Toyota Corolla was later found abandoned on the road, with the dead identified by the police as Honorable Ishak Yunusa inside the vehicle. The police say another occupant of the vehicle was then taken into the bush by the attackers, prompting a joint security operation to locate and rescue the abducted victim. In Adamawa State, Governor Umaru Fintiri is warning that anyone found providing information to insurgents will face the full weight of the law. The governor gave this warning while handing over some 40 motorcycles to security operatives in Hong local government area of the state, following recent continued attacks on 5 communities by suspected insurgents within the past 4 weeks.
The security challenges confronting Hong local government area of Adamawa State has become a source of concern following attacks by insurgents on 5 communities, resulting in loss of lives, abduction of residents, and destruction of property. Following this development, the Adamawa State government is deploying 40 motorcycles to support security agencies in assessing the difficult terrain to curb the activities of the insurgents. The State Commissioner for Education, Mr. Umar Garba Pella, hands over the keys of the motorcycles to the traditional ruler of the chiefdom.
I am more than happy to receive the kind of support that we got from His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Dr. Ahmad Umar Fintiri, CON, Demi de la Haba, because he has been relentless in the support that gives us when we face these security challenges.
The security situation as of now, I can say, is becoming worse, because before, during rainy season, you never hear of attack, but now the attack is becoming more and more, because for the past 3-4 weeks now, they have attacked more than 5 to 6 villages. Properties were destroyed. They killed people, even abduction. They abducted many.
Following military reports that some of the residents provide information to the bandits, the state government issues a warning to those behind such activities.
The state government has already dimensioned the security situation. And like I've just said, we have had a discussion with the security agencies, and the intelligence we have gathered is that there seems to be some insider informants that are leaking the strategy of the security agencies to the enemies. So we have admonished especially the traditional institutions and the communities to win this fight. It's beyond just what security agencies can handle. It's a conquest against the community, and the community needs to be in the forefront for fighting these people.
The State Commissioner for Education also appeals to residents to cooperate with security agencies in the fight against the insurgents.
The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has launched 4 publications documenting its peacekeeping, peace-building and peace-making interventions across the region. Now, the publications, which highlights key lessons, experiences and achievements, were launched at the ECOWAS headquarters in Abuja. The lead publication, titled Fighting Bushfires, ECOWAS and Peacemaking in West Africa, the Experience, the Learning Curves, examines the challenges, sacrifices and lessons from ECOWAS peacemaking efforts, while also providing a platform for the body to document and tell its own story of conflict prevention and resolution in West Africa.
My take from ECOMOC till date is all those who have sacrificed their lives. And I can tell you, I finished from Nigerian Defense Academy in 1991. And that's when we started going to Liberia. I lost 10 of my classmates in Liberia, 10 of them. One of them, particularly from Akwa Ibom, or then Yes Cross River, finished his course, came back to the barracks, and the barrack was empty because his troops had moved to Liberia. And so he said, look, what am I doing here when everybody is there fighting? And they said, no, look, you are a young officer, stay here. He said, no, I can't be here, and those guys are fighting. And he left. A year later, he was killed. Those are the sacrifices that people have made and have continued to do. And I want us to really have to understand there are a lot of people who are putting in their lives for us to survive, for us to live. And so what we owe them is to make sure that we unite and move Africa forward. Other than that, then we are not achieving what they have died for. And after the ECOMOG war, one question I asked ourselves, and a question I want everybody to answer: all the sacrifice that has been made, both human, material, and all, have that united us further as Africans? I think that's one great question that we need to ask ourselves. And if not, why?
Minister of Works, Mr. David Umahi, has directed the concessionaire handling the Benin-Asaba Expressway to immediately correct identified deficiencies on the highway and restore safe, smooth passage for the motorists. Mr. Umahi gave the directive today at a stakeholders meeting held at the Edo State Government House, where he expressed concern over what he described as unacceptable shortcomings in the reconstruction and expansion of the highway. The minister also faulted the Benin-Asaba Expressway Concession Company for failing to comply with engineering standards and directives, warning that poor construction practices and negligence could undermine critical national infrastructure. He then ordered the concessionaire to reinstate damaged asphalt sections, create properly marked passages for motorists, evacuate accumulated water from the carriageway and clear dust, to show greater commitment, that is, to completing the project despite challenges posed by the rainy season and heavy traffic. The concessionaire, in its response, assured the minister of its commitment to addressing the identified deficiencies and implementing corrective measures.
The controller, you look for the MD of Heartland, arrest him, so that, and I want Engineer Musa to tell the directors C&R to call up the APG immediately. You have to write to the banks to pay us that money. And this is what we are going to look at the kind of mess we are having. Even to do small filling on the road, that is wickedness. We can't be running from, pillar to pole, because we are fixing infrastructure and people intentionally are removing it. It's not done anywhere. It's not done anywhere. People are excavating the concrete road just to get iron. People are removing a concrete parapet just to get iron. People are removing bolts in a bridge like this. This bridge is still bolts and nuts. That's what is holding it.
The federal government has commenced a comprehensive nationwide consultation process with the state governments, development partners and key stakeholders to develop a definitive national water compact. This strategic framework is designed to tackle the country's persistent water and sanitation crisis, driving radical institutional reforms to secure long-term water sustainability across all 36 states and the FCT. Speaking at the nationwide stakeholders consultation workshop in Abuja, the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Youssef, revealed that the initiative marks a critical turning point for the sector.
The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Youssef, is joined by the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Salako, for the nationwide stakeholders consultation workshop involving state commissioners and key stakeholders for the development of the National Water Compact. The federal government aims to seamlessly integrate water supply, irrigation, environmental protection, public health, and climate resilience into a singular functional matrix.
The federal government has continued to prioritize strategic investments, institutional reforms, and transformative interventions that are aimed at accelerating socio-economic development, strengthening national resilience, and improving the quality of life of all Nigerians.
The government is adapting this overreaching African framework to solve specific domestic challenges and meet national development priorities.
Nigeria commenced the development of a national water compact to demonstrate this continental vision while responding to our unique national priorities and development aspirations.
The National Water Compact therefore provides an important platform for strengthening collaboration across sectors and levels of government. As this consultation progresses, the Federal Minister of Health and Social Welfare will be particularly interested in ensuring that the final compact adequately addresses 1. Water governance framework to promote sanitation, hygiene services, and infection control and prevention in healthcare facilities.
States hold constitutional mandates and direct operational control over the delivery and management of local water and sanitation services. Their grassroots input is vital.
It's also about 2030 and beyond. So if you do not plan and you just begin to work, there will be no what to build on. What Mr. President is doing now, nationwide economic reform, that is, we build on it, and at the end of the day, everything will be good for the people of Nigeria and the next generation to come.
The nationwide consultation tour is expected to yield practical localized recommendations, which is expected to be integrated into the final National Water Compact, establishing a clear, accountable roadmap for coordinated investment, policy execution, and infrastructure development across Nigeria.
When we come back, and after the break, of course, so it's off to business news, where the NGX Group welcomes the FTSE Russell's confirmation of Nigeria's return to frontier market status. Join us again. Welcome back. The Taraba State government says it's taking proactive steps to enhance food sustainability and curb the recurring farmers and herders crisis by enhancing livestock production value chain and introducing new measures that will ensure a win-win situation for all parties. The State Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Professor Oliver Nicholas, stated this when the World Bank team visited the state to assess the level of project delivery by the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project, LPRES.
Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project is a strategic measure of the federal government funded by the World Bank and implemented by state governments to improve livestock productivity, encourage commercialization and build the capacity of authorities to mitigate conflicts between farmers and herders in the country. This assessment visits by the World Bank team to the Livestock Service Center, Modern Veterinary Hospital, Jalingo Ultra-Modern Abattoir and Artificial Insemination Center in Taraba State is designed to assess the progress of projects executed, its implementation and challenges.
I'm impressed. Taraba is working hard. Taraba is one of the performing states that we have in El-Press, and that's thanks to the SPC and the state coordinating office, all the officers at the state. So we look forward to more collaboration, more activities to commission by November, and for the benefit of the livestock farmers across the state.
The visit is also preparatory to the handing over of the Jalingo Ultra-Modern Abattoir to the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project for remodeling and automation. However, the state program coordinator is concerned that the host community's collaboration is needed to avert vandalism and sustainability of the projects.
Now, what we want from host communities is to give us their cooperation to ensure sustainability. There should be no rancor, there should be no this kind of backlog demands for compensation of lands or whatever by communities. Now, all these things require sacrifice.
The state government has a blueprint to ensure food security and fast-track the chain process of the projects.
There are about 7 states that the World Bank has decided to upgrade their abattoirs. It's coming direct from the World Bank. And Taraba is also selected. So for them to do the work, first of all, the place will have to be handed over to them officially.
The state government is pledging to continue to do everything possible to open up its potential to the world and believes that with the right support of the World Bank and other investors, Taraba will get it right in livestock production.
The Nigeria Medical Association, NMA, is calling on government at all levels to improve the remuneration and working conditions of medical workers across the country to stem the tide of brain drain, where 50% of doctors have already left the country. At a press briefing following its National Executive Council meeting, the NMA explained that to confront human resource challenges in the health sector, the government also needs to improve security and stop the kidnapping of health workers, as well as give priority to medical facilities and equipment.
We therefore call on governments to 1. Conclude and implement the outstanding collective bargaining agreement. 2. Ensure universal applicability of salaries, wages and income to all doctors in all ministries, departments and agencies, irrespective of where they work, whether in the federal, states, governments or local government areas or even in the universities. 3. Introduce appropriate tax relief measures for healthcare professionals and other essential workers. 4. Implement the 65-year retirement age for clinical healthcare workers. 5. Strengthen measures to retain and motivate healthcare professionals in Nigeria. 6. Declare drug and substance abuse among youths a national public health priority. 7. Expand mental health and addiction treatment services nationwide. 8. Improve road infrastructure, particularly roads providing access to healthcare facilities. 9. Intensify the fight against kidnapping, banditry, terrorism, and other forms of insecurity. 10. Strengthen the security of healthcare workers and facilities nationwide. 11. Ensure the safe rescue and return of abducted healthcare workers and other Nigerians in captivity.
In business news, NGX Group says Fitzy Russell's confirmation of Nigeria's return to frontier market status opens a new chapter for the country's capital market. Fitzy Russell has confirmed that the reclassification from unclassified to frontier market status will proceed from the opening of trading on September the 21st this year. Following its assessment, the Fitzy Russell notes that no material settlement, operational or funding issues have been observed since the transition. In response, the Federal Ministry of Finance welcomes the confirmation by global index provider Fitzy Russell that Nigeria's capital market will be reclassified from unclassified to frontier market status. The ministry says the decision reflects sustained improvements in foreign exchange liquidity, capital repatriation and market accessibility, following reforms aimed at restoring investor confidence and strengthening the capital market. Nigeria's return to the frontier market classification comes nearly 3 years after its exclusion, with the federal government now setting its sights on deeper market development and an eventual transition to emerging market status. The 55th Annual General Meeting of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Apapa branch, focuses on multiple taxation harmonization with the subnational, highlighting concerns of stakeholders. A leadership notes that with Apapa known as Nigeria's maritime gateway, taxation comes from everywhere, but the 2025 tax law gives a once-in-a-generation opportunity to reset it.
The 2025 tax law gives us a once-in-a-generation opportunity to reset this. The law seeks to harmonize, digitize, and reduce friction. But for it to work, for manufacturers, especially those in trade corridors like Apapa, we need various safeguards. 1. Harmonization with it. We urge Lagos State government to be the first to publish a harmonized tax code aligned with the new law. One entity to access, one portal to pay. This will cut compliance costs significantly for our members.
Nigeria is stepping up efforts to build a stronger presence in the global halal economy, with stakeholders examining the opportunities across finance, trade, manufacturing and other sectors. Now, the push comes as the country seeks to develop a coordinated framework for the sector, strengthen participation by local businesses and create an environment capable of attracting greater investment into halal-related activities. And that's a wrap on News at 5 at this time. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. The World Today is up next.